No, it's crazy, isn't it?
I went first.
Is it?
It wasn't that bad, it's not that crazy, but it's fun.
He says. It was like black out.
I don't like
That's scary. I almost died in that one.
Like when my legs sink up, they brought it down to just in here.
The fire? Do they still have the fire?
No.
They don't have the fire?
They took out these
They used to have fire when you went down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just like feel this flame next to you.
Oh my gosh,
Alright, put today's date, kids. Okay, so as I said, we are done with the presidency, so now we're going to be focusing on, no, yes, the legislative branch. So this is where meets up. What branch? Yes, what are they called? Those are the seats. Huh? Yes, Congress. So this is the Capitol building. This is what was stormed on January what?
6th.
Very good, yes. So this is what they, defaced and literally crapped on. What the hell's wrong with people? So on this side, it's the Senate. On this side, it is the House of Rep. They do meet in separate locations. And here in the middle is where the lobbying takes place. This is where people who are interested in trying to convince either one of them, this is where they meet up, this is where they have their meetings, and this is where both of them also meet up if they want to talk together or something. A lot of the meeting rooms are here, like the committees, the conferences, all that jazz. So, do write this down. The legislative branch is a very short unit. I'm pretty sure we'll be done with this in April. So, then we have just a little bit more, and we're done, children. Isn't that crazy? Don't you feel like you've learned so much of your government? So, this is composed of a bicameral Congress. So, it is, what does that mean, bicameral? Two, very good, two houses, or two legislative bodies. What does legislative mean?
Law.
Yes, very good, lawmaking. So this is where all of the laws originate from. Can the president make a law?
No.
No, unless of course they do what power, which is not a formal power. It is not in the Constitution. But it basically has the force of a law, and the only requirement that they have is that it has to be published in the Federal Register. Very good, yes, the executive order. That is their kind of, loophole. So we have the Senate, of course. How many people in our Senate? No, that's, I know what you're thinking.
Like 100.
Very good, yes. Why is it 100?
There's 2 states.
Yes, very good. How many states do we have? Stop. Then we have our House of Reps. How many people here? This is a bigger number, much bigger.
250, no. Higher than 2?
Double.
Oh, 5.
It's 5
4.
435. Used to be
I
436.
don't remember that number.
Yeah, we haven't covered it, that's why. I was just wondering if anyone knew it. So this is the chief policy-making branch of the national government. This is where everything happens. Unless, of course, this Congress, something happens. But for the most part, this is where most laws, policies that hopefully benefit the American public are made. Hopefully. So this is one of the very few democratic elements that we have in our government. Why is that? Because if there's three branches, why is this the one that we really do have a democratic element attached to it? Yes, we actually vote for these people, right? Do we vote for the justices in the Supreme Court?
No.
No, we do not. Do we kind of vote for the president?
Yeah.
Kind of. Who actually kind of puts them in power? Yeah, the Electoral College. This is really the only one where we do have actual voting power. Thanks to which amendment can we now vote for the Senate? One of them, it's a teenager.
14.
Very good, the 17th Amendment, yes. So, it does, I mean, hopefully, represent the people, hopefully. It also translates public will into public policy in the form of laws. Now, what is public will? First, what is someone's will? Not when they die, that's not what I'm talking about. What is someone's will? Yes, what they want to have happen, right? So, you will something to happen. You work for it, you're hoping for it. So whenever the public wants something to happen, we're hoping that that want is turned into law, and they actually address it, okay? Okay, so they have three major duties. First one, obviously, that is literally their name, to legislate. So they introduced bills. Now, this was in the Constitution, I don't know if you could remember, but anything that has to do with taxes or spending, where does it have to originate? In the House or in the Senate? Who says Senate? Who says House? Yeah, it's in the House. In the House. Anything that has to do with spending originates in the House, because it does have to pass through both houses. So this is where they discuss, they hold informational hearings, they amend, they debate. Well, the Senate, the House can't really debate that much at all. What does amend mean?
Add on to.
Okay, good, very good, yes,
Change.
to add on to change, yes. And as I said, debate and final vote. Of the two houses, the Senate is the one that debates the most. Why do you think the House cannot debate as much?
There's too much people.
Yeah, way too many people. Right? Imagine 400 people debating. Chaos. It's already chaos when only 50 people debate. So the Senate is the one that debates the most. They are also in charge of something called oversight. What does that sound like?
Overview.
Okay, good. So what do you think it means?
So like review, look over.
Yes. So whenever a law is passed, so let's say the president agrees with the law or the policy or the bill, they sign it into law. they're the ones who have to make sure that when the law is implemented, they are following everything the way that it should be. They don't really implement anything, they just make sure that everything is being followed. They also, if they can, check the executive branch if they're trying to do something that extends the power that they have. So any type of bureaucratic agencies, which is hopefully something that you kids remember, hopefully. And the agencies are the ones who actually implement the law, right? But Congress is in charge of making sure that they're actually following the law. They also hold investigative hearings. Hopefully, they find something, and when they do find something, they do something about it, and they don't just let it continue. This can be up against the House, it could be up against the Senate, it really just depends on the severity of the crime. For example, I believe it's Kristi Noem who spent like millions of dollars for an advertisement where she was on a horse. And they asked her, they're like, hey man, did you approve this? Did you get this approved? And she said, oh yeah, I totally did. She had not, right? So she was in an investigative hearing.
You know how that money is spent? Like, where did it all go? Like, $20 million?
Yeah, so she spent it on an ad.
I know, but like, what's the suit? She was just on a horse.
That's what they were asking her, and that's what she couldn't answer. Also, that money is our money. Well, my money. Y'all don't pay taxes yet. Your parents' money, though.
Actually, that's true.
Did you file your taxes? Alright, also, of course, funding. Who holds the sword, children? Who holds the sword? Yes, the executive branch. Who holds the purse? Legislative, yes. Okay, so in the Constitution, there is something called the Appropriations Clause. Please remember this clause. Please. Oh, also, reminder children, you're gonna have a quiz this Friday on the presidential words. Yes.
Multiple choice.
No. I will try to put some though. Maybe like one or two.
How many total questions is it?
I wanna say maybe like 35 or 40. I have so many to choose from, you know?
Yeah.
Choices. Decisions. So, appropriations clause. This is in the Constitution. This is definitely something that, even if it is not a cumulative exam, will be appearing on your final exam. So please remember this. Appropriations is essentially whatever it is that has to be passed before they can spend money. They need to budget, which is something that I'm going to hopefully have time to teach you kids how to do. Because if you don't budget, you're gonna get in debt real quick. Do not be like the United States. Do not be in debt. Okay, we've been in debt since we started, really. So, this is their legislative duty. They do have to do this. And they have responsibility over the federal fisc. Yes, fisc is a word. Okay? Look it up if you don't believe me. It's a word.
Fiscal federalism.
Ooh, okay, connections. Good, yeah. So, let's say something is happening and the president is like, we need this money now. We need to spend. If Congress does not agree to it, it is unconstitutional. They're the ones who control the money, not the president, not the Supreme Court, not anyone else. It is Congress. Congress knows how much money we can spend. because Congress gets all of the freaking budget and all the money from our taxes. Oh my God. I filed my taxes already. Whoa, children. Yikes. If you do not know, tax day is April 15th. So if your parents have not filed yet,
It's on
they
Anna's
do
birthday.
have- Your birthday's tax day? That's hilarious. That's funny. But you don't have to pay taxes, do you? Good for you. Enjoy that, cause this is your last year. Are you gonna start working?
Yeah.
Good for you.
This, what if you're like 19 without a job? You still pay taxes?
No, cause you don't have any income. You only pay taxes if you have income.
Ooh. Okay.
So, they cannot spend money without Congress approving it. You cannot spend money without Congress approving it. Literally can't be done. Also, they have to specify the powers, activities, and purposes for the objects for which the funds may be used. You cannot just spend money willy-nilly, right? This is not freaking free-for-all kind of thing. We, as the people, all of this is published. How the government spends their money is published. You can look this up. You can see how much money is going to the military, how much money is going to education. Spoiler alert, not that much. They have to actually, it's like a receipt, kind of. Like, this is how much we spent on this, this is how much we spent on this. And they have to do this before they actually spend the money. So they can't just give them the money and then be like, all right, and then give us what you're gonna be spending it on. No, they have to categorize everything beforehand. Cause that's the people's money, that's not their money. So much money. Yeah,
Just, how much do you need to make annually to start paying taxes?
I believe it's 26,000, but don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that, look it up, but I believe it's 26,000 a year.
But like, let's say it was 26,000. If I made 25,000, I wouldn't get taxed. Like, I wouldn't have to file.
No. I think, are you still considered a dependent?
Yeah.
Okay, so then your parents would put that in theirs. Yeah. You don't necessarily have to put that because you made less than, but your parents do have to put that. You made some
Miss,
sort
if
of-
you make less than what, how much?
Again, don't quote me on this. I think it's 26.
And what?
See, I said, don't quote me on it. I don't know. It's 15,000.
A year?
Yes, a year.
That's like really bad, no?
Yeah,
That's
that's
like-
really bad.
It's like, you work like, what? Cause you have to
You
earn
work
like
for
minimum,
pennies,
you have to earn
basically.
minimum, right? So you just don't work a lot of days or a lot of hours?
Yes.
Wow.
They want your money.
Yeah.
They need your money. So, just keep that in mind. And please make sure that you file your taxes because they can audit you and an audit is just really annoying. I've never been audited.
What if you don't vote?
What is audit?
That's when the IRS sends someone to like look over your stuff. To make sure that you're not robbing money from the federal government.
What's it called? Oh, is it called fraud when you do like, what's it called, tax evasion?
Tax evasion?
Tax evasion?
Yeah, that's when you don't put everything that you actually get.
So you're evading the taxes? Wow. Miss, do you use TurboTax?
As a teacher, I can't actually, cause I'm a government employee, but if it's cash, you got some wiggle room. I'll just say that,
Miss,
you got some wiggle room.
do you use TurboTax?
Hell no, TurboTax, Do not use TurboTax, do not use H&R Block. They are just wanting your freaking money, children. You can file your taxes for free.
But it takes longer.
No. It took me an hour.
What do you even do when you file taxes? Is it
You
just like you just,
essentially have,
like I
stop it, we're getting
Wait,
sidetracked.
actually, actually, cause I'm really confused. Like I've always seen like my parents, like I never understood it. Like never understood
You
it.
just tell the government how much you made, how much you spent, and then from those two things, depending on where you are in the pay scale of the United States, that's how much you're gonna get taxed. So if you spent more money than you made, according to them, then they give you a tax refund, so that you get money. But really, it's just the money that you already spent. You're not getting anything. What sucks is when you don't get anything at all, and they take money from you, because you're making too much. Yeah. When that thing is negative, and it's in red, ooh, that's when your heart starts going.
Have you ever had this?
No, because I'm poor. Being poor has some perks to it, children. Yes.
Do you get paid like the same as any other teacher, or like is it like?
No, I get paid quite a lot. I'm basically a millionaire, honestly. Yeah. It really depends on how many years you've been working and how many units you have to your name.
Just, for example, like if there's like a teacher from Cal State LA, and like obviously you went to UCLA.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It does not matter. It doesn't matter. That's why I'm like, whatever school you go to, whatever. You go to school, you get your freaking bachelor's, kids. Just get your bachelor's. It doesn't matter. Transfer from a community college, I don't care. Just get your education. Just know that it's difficult, especially if it's an impacted major to transfer from a community college. Just know that. Alright, so spending. What we all love to do. Spend, spend, spend. Okay, so there are two types of spending that the federal government has, well, that's just what they do. The first one is mandatory spending. Think of this as rent, insurance, bills. These are the things you have to spend your money on. This is what you have to budget for. If you do not have money for your rent, what? Yikes on you. You could just get kicked out. Or they could just add it to your next month's rent, which sucks. Don't do that. Do not recommend, 0 out of 10. Make sure you always have money for your rent, for your bills, for your insurance, and for any other things. Food, that's nice. Oh God, food. So, in the federal government, it refers to anything that is already in the mandatory budget. Like Social Security. Oh my goodness, old people need their Social Security. And although a lot of us could laugh at the old people, which you shouldn't do, a lot of times when you retire, depending on your retirement plan, whatever you were getting monthly, especially if you're in Social Security, you do not get that anymore. Sometimes you don't even get half. So let's say you were making $4,000 a month, you're probably gonna get a $1,000 check. So you have to have enough income in your retirement plan in order to be able to survive and pay. Hopefully we all have a house by then. Ooh, buenas vibras. Hopefully we do. But you have to pay your mortgage. You also have to pay your real estate tax. You also have to pay for utilities and for bills and for maybe the hospital visits, because Medicare does cover some, but not everything, right? So hopefully we all have enough money when we're old, because we're not gonna be able to really work like we did when we were young. So this is mandatory spending, because those people who are retired, they have time to vote. And if they do not secure this for them, they will vote you out. So that's why the majority of the people who vote are older, because they got time, and it really impacts them. It really impacts you, but a lot of young children do not vote. It's not
What is
great.
Social Security?
It is the money that it's essentially the income once you retire. So right now, I am paying for a teacher who retired to live their life.
Oh.
Yes. That's what social, and that's why there's so many people who are scared because no one is having babies anymore. So when you kids are old, who's gonna pay for you? Ooh, that's scary. Cause there's more of you children than the incoming generations. So what's gonna happen to your money? I'm fine, I'm covered. Haha, it's you children, right? So that's why they're pushing, like, oh my God, women are single and are not pregnant. Oh no. That's me. Haha. I'm sorry, alright? That just scared me, alright? That scared me. Alright, so then we have discretionary spending. So this comes from something called the discretionary revenue. And this is anything that is left over, right? This is what you spend your money on when you go out with your friends, when you get chips, your Netflix. Kids, if you do have your own apartment once you're older, I suggest you don't get an apartment unless you're like, I don't want to be at home anymore. I can't be at home anymore. Then okay, yeah. But
Live at home.
honestly, live at home. Because apartments are very expensive. And also it's not yours. You are actually spending money on something that doesn't belong to you, which kind of sucks. Obviously you have a roof over your head and you have to be grateful for that, but man, rent here is expensive. Unless you find like a really nice place, not even then. Rough. Yeah.
Yes, how much is like estimated here in California, like a down payment on a house?
On a house? Depends on most houses around here are like $1 million.
So then how much is
So the down payment, if you don't wanna be spending that much on your mortgage, you're gonna have to give maybe like 200,000, 300,000? Why do you think I'm still homeless? I'm not homeless, but like, I have a home. It is very, very expensive to live here, children, very expensive. So, budget like crazy, okay? Save your money. Because man, it's tough out here. Yes?
You find somebody California.
Hell no. Hell no. I know it's expensive, but man, I don't wanna live anywhere else. It's fine. I could live in a shoebox. It's fine. It's fine. No
Wait,
worries.
why though?
Huh?
Why?
Because it's Cali. I don't wanna go anywhere else. I got this. So,
Then we missed
this
it.
particular revenue is considered non-essential. So this is the things that are like
Wants and needs miss.
wants and needs, exactly. Most of the money that is here, it goes to like the military
For some reason.
for some freaking reason, yeah. Yes. There are other types of spending, however, they are not deemed appropriate for government. They're like hush hush. You don't talk about this, okay? I mean, everyone knows that they do it, they just, you know, don't make it super obvious. First one is called pork barrel spending. Yes, that is actually the name. Do not ask me why. I don't know. I've tried to like do my research on it, and I always forget. So, if you're curious, look it up and then tell me, so I can tell the other facts. Unless you forget as well. So this one is when certain people in Congress, they use money because the money that is used in Congress, it's supposed to be for everyone, right? They're supposed to share it equally. They're not supposed to get all of the money and use it only for their council or their district's projects. You're not supposed to do that. You can't do that, actually. But some people do not care because they promise things to their people, right? They're like, I am going to fix the streets. And then they look at the budget and they're like, crap, I don't have enough money to fix the streets because fixing the streets is very expensive. So they make a deal. And they say, all right, I'll vote for this for you, but you have to vote for this and make me have all the money. So I can use it for my district, and then I'll help you out, I promise. But help me out first. You know what that's called, children?
Quarterly. No.
It's in Latin, it starts with a Q. I suppose you could also say, I scratch your back, you scratch mine, but it's quid pro quo, right? Quid pro quo, that's what it is. Then we have earmark spending. Does anyone know what an earmark is? I mean, yeah, but I think you kids call it differently. Doggy ears? It's when you get a book and then you go like this to it.
What?
That is not, who said that? That is not a bookmark. A bookmark is literally a thing that you put here to this. If you don't know what that is, good job, children. Or you don't read enough. Y'all should read more. Because a lot of library books, they would do this to them, and I would always be so pissed off because why are you doing that to a book? What the hell's wrong with you? Get a bookmark, like a regular person. But, yeah.
That
So,
has a name for that?
yes, that's called an earmark, okay, an earmark.
Oh, like this.
So, we need an earmark because budgets are famously quite huge. They're very, very big. They're very big. So, what they do is they earmark. Like, they don't actually fold the page, obviously, that's what they used to do, now they do it differently, but the name stuck. So they earmark a specific amount of money, and that money goes on a particular project. So they don't necessarily write that, they just earmark it. And they're like, all right, don't touch that money because it's been earmarked for this project, for this person's district. So it's kind of like pork barrel spending, except that it is really in the agency's budget. It's not really a bill that is passed. I hope that makes sense. Alright, those are all the news, children. So group leaders, please go and get with some cutties. Alright, name day period, children. Alright, read and annotate front and back of the article, and for today, at least start question 1.
Miss, you have biology?
I did.